Good afternoon. I'm Jeff Schiffer, and I'm the Executive Director at NativeChild and Family Services of Toronto. I want to thank you all for joining us for the official launch of our Malvern Aboriginal Child and Family Centre. Vivian Roy is going to start us in a good way. She's going to open with a prayer, and then Michelle MEAWASIGE and I are going to have the opportunity to tell you a little bit about this new centre. Over to you, Vivian. Miigwech.
Bonjour. Giwet no kwege ningishan kango. Mina main gandodem. Mina wikwam kong doben chaba. Gikwech mago sa mampinan go winama, winamesgea. Now gikit na gikchenen da mampin nam da biananga donjanakige mampi. Nasa joem na ronda ikwech ma winad mojang wi minamadziang, mina wi minakiang. Panagona wina masayang mampian. Benojik eat mina kinege benojik mampi bejat in janakia nagden mishnang bosen mishnang. Good morning. I'm Vivian Roy. I'm one of the knowledge keepers at Native Child and Family Services, and I was asked to do an opening prayer. I want to just say to Creator this morning to come and sit with us, to help us here gather so we can gather in a good way, and also to help us work with our children and to help all the parents that we work with and to help all our staff here at Native Child and Family Services to work in a good way. And with that, I'll say Chimiigwech, and I want to welcome the big drum. Thank you.
I just want to thank Vivian and the Big Drum for getting us started in a good way. As I said, I'm Jeff Schiffer, and I'm the Executive Director here at Native Child and Family Services of Toronto. We are so excited today to be launching our Malvern Aboriginal Child and Family Centre. This new centre is funded through Journey Together. Journey Together is a funding stream through the province which is meant to demonstrate Ontario's commitment to reconciliation with Indigenous peoples. Journey Together recognizes that the legacy of residential schooling and so many other features of colonization deeply impacted early learning and development for Indigenous peoples. And it's part of the commitment through the province to recognize the necessity for the development of a distinct Indigenous approach to doing this work, right? Our elders and our knowledge keepers have known how to raise up young ones, our sacred little bundles, for generations. But it's not always that community members have access to a facility like this to do that work. So, I do want to thank the province of Ontario, and I want to thank our partners at the City of Toronto for making this work possible. But, most deeply, I want to thank the community for working with us to make this vision a reality, for our children today. NativeChild has a long history of creating new services and new programs together with community. As an organization that was founded by the Indigenous community in Toronto, that is governed and operated by Indigenous community members, we understand the importance of centering children and community in the work that we do. And that's what the staffing team at this new center has done. Over the last few months, more than that, in fact, working with our council here in Malvern, they have co-designed and co-developed the programs and services that are going to be offered to community members here. There is a growing Indigenous population here in the Malvern area, and there have not been places where families can go to see themselves reflected in the design and in the programs and in the services. And, I want to thank Susan Spiegel, architects, for working with us to create this beautiful center that took direct feedback from our community members and incorporated it into the design of this building. This is a place where children are going to be able to come together with their families to see themselves reflected and to learn teachings about their program and culture. And, I think for us, it's not only about recognizing some of the problematic situations that we need to address because of the history of colonization. It's not only about looking back, but it's about looking forward. It's about creating a stable foundation for children in our communities to define pathways to prosperity and wellness that are grounded in Indigenous vision and culture and worldview. And that's exactly the type of work that's going to be happening here at this new center. At this point, I want to turn things over to Michelle MEAWASIGE, our amazing site leader at this new facility, who's been working with her team. Michelle's going to tell you a little bit about all of the programs and services that are going to be happening here. And then I just also like to remind you that we will be having a Q&A later this afternoon. So if you have questions or comments about what you're hearing, please do type them in the chat as they come to you, and we'll look forward to discussing that shortly. Miigwech. Michelle.
Thanks, Jeff. So 4 years ago, NativeChild and Family Services met with the Malvern Aboriginal community to find out what was wanted and needed in this area. Voices were heard about those recommendations, and the City of Toronto stepped forward to make that vision become a reality. 2 years ago, we began with our Early On program, our caregiver support, and our mobile fathering Schiffer program at Emily Carr Public School. Today, we continue to expand those services. Through the support of our Malvern Aboriginal Community Council, we have built relationships, engagement, and empowerment in this community. With those individuals by our side, we will continue to build services and walk with them on a path of friendship, discovery, and development. Our programs consist of our Early On program, which is an Indigenous-led program for caregivers with children 0 to 6 years of age. It's a time to come together, to learn, and to develop traditions and respect for one another. We focus on traditional teachings, storytelling, and activities. We foster services and supports through positive parenting, healthy relationships, school readiness, and development throughout community connections. Our Schiffer mobile fathering program connects with male caregivers or those who identify with male. So in the Native community, we totally understand that male caregivers come in all ages, and they come with extended family, neighbors, and friends, and we embrace everybody. Our Schiffer helps build bonds with male caregivers and the children, and welcomes everyone into learning traditions and culture, and building bundles and sharing knowledge and experiences to embrace the development. We are also going to be expanding our child and youth programming here that will encompass children from 7 years of age up to 29, that will focus on education, career exploration, supports, and advocacy, as well as programs. Everybody wants to have fun, so we need to make sure that that's happening. We offer a child and family navigator support person here who supports our families with wraparound services, whether it be for advocacy, school support, referrals, or just somebody to talk to, especially in this trying time. We also have a Circle of Care coordinator. That coordinator supports our food hamper and food sovereignty program. We offer community kitchen and health and wellness. One of our new funding that has come through the United Way and the Allen Strait funding is our senior elder programs. And that is new to us, but it's not something new to this community or something that hasn't been needed for quite a while. NativeChild has stepped up to lead that way. And we are providing virtual programming at this time and services. And again, just reaching out so that they know somebody cares. Please, as though Jeff mentioned previously, we've gone virtual due to what's happening here, but that doesn't mean that we can't be spoken with or connected to. So if you need support of any kind or just an ear for someone to listen to, please reach out. Miigwech.
Now we're going to turn to a slideshow and some more footage to tell you a little bit more about the programs and services here. Miigwech.
My family has benefited from Malvern Aboriginal Early On's programs since we first started going in August 2019. The activities offered by the program are always so engaging and creative and have helped my children learn and gain confidence in themselves. My children have learned to smudge, drum, and sing in Ojibwe, thanks to the Malvern Early On. The Early On helped my shy son transition into junior kindergarten in September 2019, and going to the program after school was always something he looked forward to because we were always welcomed so warmly.
The Malvern Aboriginal Child and Family Life Center has been one of the most motivational pivots in our life. We started from the first day the center opened and have been going back ever since. We regularly attend the On the Land program, and the virtual programs have been so vital to our family throughout the pandemic. Our family enjoys learning new things from the Early On programs, and my partner and I love to hear our daughter laugh and have fun when she interacts with the staff and participants. The Early On team has helped our daughter build her confidence, express her talents, and they helped with her all-around self-development. We could not ask for a better team of support workers to be in our community.
I'm very thankful to have found this program, as I can see how happy it makes my grandson. We started coming to the Early On about 3 years ago, when my grandson was just a preschooler. I also enjoy attending programs for myself, as I can connect with other members of the community. Me and my family really looked forward to culture nights on Tuesdays when they were held at 20 schools. The pandemic was quite difficult on our mental health, but the Malvern staff really helped me and my family get through it. We participated in On the Land and virtual programming that really helped our emotional, physical, spiritual, and mental well-being during this difficult time. I can't wait to see the new location and build some new memories with my family and my community. Thank you to the entire team at the Malvern Aboriginal Child and Family Center.
Joining Kevin's stories groups has been life-changing for my daughter and me. Tiana has discovered family and friends amongst her peer group by attending the online Reading Buddies story sessions. Kevin sent a large package which includes Leapfrog materials and storybooks, along with an Indigo gift card for participants in the group. Every Monday, Tiana now becomes excited as she knows she will see Zishay, Kevin, and her little friends on the webcam. I am also actively attending Kevin's Growing Culturally online group on Thursdays. Being able to join these groups has put me back into reconnecting with my culture and my identity. Recently, I received another package from Kevin. I could not believe the amount of kindness and thought that has gone into preparing what I deemed to be as my cultural rebuilding kit. Inside the package, all materials for making a hand drum medicine bag, along with an abalone shell, feather fan, and a great amount of sage for smudging, I am grateful to Kevin for these gifts. Miigwech.
Malvern Aboriginal early on has been instrumental in supporting the early stages of my son's development. The Early Learners program really helped my son prepare for his first year of junior kindergarten and is still, even virtually, helping him with his senior kindergarten work that he's doing now. The staff have provided a pivotal role in supports for our family during the COVID-19 pandemic. The staff have become more like family than they are staff. They connect with us virtually, they offer on-the-land learning opportunities, they provide language supports and teachings on medicines, and they've also provided learnings available in the evenings after the school day is done, which makes things a lot more accessible for my family. Through the activities, we've established a very strong sense of community, and we've created learnings for myself and my husband as well. Malvern Aboriginal Early On goes farther than just the early on. They actually work with the entire family. The team has created a grounding for us and a sense of belonging within this community, and we couldn't appreciate them more and the work that they do for us. Miigwech.
I want to acknowledge Toronto as a sacred gathering place for many Indigenous peoples of Turtle Island. I want to recognize the long history of First Nations and Métis people of Ontario, and to show respect today to the Mississaugas of the accredited First Nation. I am proud to congratulate everyone involved in the creation of the Malvern Aboriginal Child and Family Centre. Culturally sensitive programming is critical to supporting students in our province, and I'm very pleased with the incredible progress made moving from a temporary now to a permanent location that will support young Indigenous, Métis, and First Nation students within our province. I want to thank the NativeChild and Family Services of Toronto for your amazing work to support Indigenous children and families for over 3 decades of supporting those most in need. And you're making a difference in our city and across our province. And so we in the province of Ontario, our government was happy to support this important project, which will offer valuable services, those cultural services that are going to make a difference for our youngsters. So congratulations to everyone involved. I wish you a very positive day. And again, I want to thank everyone who took leadership in this for many years to get this done.
Hello, Mayor John Tory here. I'm pleased to welcome you all and to be a part of the official opening of the NativeChild and Family Services of Toronto's new Malvern Aboriginal Child and Family Centre. Ontario has the largest population of Indigenous peoples in all of Canada. According to the agencies serving the Indigenous community in Toronto, over 70,000 residents reside right here in our own city of Toronto. And that's why the city is passionately committed to creating more opportunities to develop meaningful and culturally appropriate programs for Indigenous children and their families across the range of city services. And these initiatives include the Aboriginal Advisory and Planning Committee, facilitated by the Children's Services Division. This committee brings together Indigenous partners to support Indigenous children and families in the city in ways that truly and authentically reflect cultural and linguistic and political and historical integrity, as well as Indigenous child and family programs, including land-based programs, Indigenous language programs, culturally relevant fathering programs, and 5 Indigenous early on centers. I'm so pleased to see the results of the city's partnerships with NativeChild and Family Services of Toronto, and it creates this new early on child and family center right within their own community hub. This new center is a demonstration of our commitment to serving our large and growing Indigenous population in Toronto. And I hope this center can serve as a gathering place for children and for youth and caregivers and parents, as well as elders and seniors, perhaps even all together. Isn't it wonderful when we bring all these people together to foster and to protect a strong sense of community for those living in the Scarborough community? There's also more to be proud of with the launch of the Mount Dennis Aboriginal Child and Family Centre in June. And I look forward to the opening of both of these new centers in our city and the important work that lies ahead. Good luck with that work, and thank you.
Hi, I'm Michelle MEAWASIGE, and I'm the supervisor of the Malvern Aboriginal Child and Family Centre. Thanks for coming today.
Come on in and meet the team.
Saigo. My name is Morning Songbird, and I'm Turtle Clan. My English name is Maggie. I'm the Senior and Elder Wellness Coordinator at the Malvern Aboriginal Child and Family Center. In my program, I offer case management, advocacy, and programming for seniors and elders 55 plus and their caregivers. And in our program, we do a lot of cultural programming.
Ani, hello. Welcome to the Malvern Aboriginal Early On Classroom. My name is CHARLENE and I'm one of the ECEs. So we've been running programs with the Aboriginal community here for almost 2 years now, and it's been such an exciting journey so far. So currently we're running programs virtually focusing on things like school readiness, culture, and healthy living, but we're so eager to eventually open up for in-person programs in our brand new, beautiful space. Come on, let's go over to the carpet for circle time.
Bojo, bojo, can you clap your hands? Bojo, bojo, can you clap your hands? Can you reach up high? Can you touch your toes? Can you turn around? Can you say bojo?
Ani Bojo friends, my name is ASTRUD. I'm also an ECE here. Fun fact, did you know that circle time is a crowd favorite here in the Early On? Children and family and caregivers love to sing, dance, drum, and share stories. They've been asking us when they can come visit and play. So as you can see, we've been really busy preparing this room with new toys and activities. So we really are looking forward to open our doors and see everybody soon.
Ani Bojo Kinawea, Cecily and Dishnakas, Makwan Doldem, Minadoma Singing Donjaba. My name is Cecily Jocko, and I am the Ashkabewis for the Malvern Aboriginal Early On program. I help bring the language and culture to the program. We look forward to seeing you soon.
Hi everyone, my name is Tori, and I am a child and youth worker at our Malvern site. We aim to provide a wide range of programs for our youth to participate in. We address topics such as physical and mental health, we express ourselves through different mediums, and we bring it all together by incorporating Indigenous culture. I hope you can join us as we continue to create a safe and welcoming space, and I hope that everyone can find something of interest for them to participate in.
Hi, I'm Sam. I'm the Child and Family Navigator here at our Malvern site. I work alongside with our Early On team to provide programming for our families. I can also connect families and community to supports when needed. I'm really looking forward to finally getting together and using the space with the community. Miigwech.
Hi, I'm Shannon. I'm the Circle of Care Coordinator, currently in charge of the Food Sovereignty Program, which includes the food hampers and food supports for the Aboriginal community. Looking forward to the time when we can get all together in this wonderful space and have some feasts. Miigwech.
Bojo Ani. I'm Chief Eagle of the Eagle Clan, but you guys know me as Kevin Fujita. I work here as a Jishe in the Malvern Aboriginal Child and Family Center. Jishe in Ojibwe translates to be uncle, and I like to use culture to bridge the gaps between male caregivers and their families.
Welcome back, everyone. I'd just like to thank Minister Lecce and Mayor Tory for the remarks that they made to the center, and Michelle and her team for the virtual walkthrough. Now that you've had an opportunity to see a little bit of the space, to see how beautiful it is, I also want to thank Bosco and Verity, our team of construction managers that turned our vision into a reality. I also just want to mention that Bosco and Verity has also completed the construction of a hub in the Mount Dennis area, which will be launching in June. So we look forward to having you all join us again in June for the launch of Mount Dennis. But back to Malvern. You've had an opportunity to see the phenomenal spectrum of programs and services that we're going to be offering here together with community. And we're now going to invite Terry Jaffe, our cultural coordinator at Native Child and Family Services of Toronto, to moderate questions and answers from our audience today. So over to you, Terry. Miigwech.
Thank you, Jeff McWitch. We've had so many congratulatory remarks coming into both our Facebook Live and the Casio platform. So if anybody's watching and you'd like to type in a question, you can do that now. One question we have received is curiosity about the Malvern Community Council. How could someone join the Malvern Community Council?
You want to speak to that?
Sure. So the Malvern Aboriginal Community Council is made up of all walks of life, and we embrace all community members. If you're interested, please, you can reach out by sending me an email at mmeawasige@nativechild.org. The more the merrier. Obviously, we depend on your skills, your experiences, and your expertise to help us lead the way.
Thank you, Michelle. The next question is, what supports are available to community to help us navigate COVID's third wave?
Michelle?
So we are, obviously our virtual programming is one of the big things to try to keep not just children, but our own minds and sanity engaged, because it's difficult for parents, it's difficult for seniors, especially being shut in with stay-at-home orders and things like that that are happening. We provide services like our food hamper program. So if you're in need of food support, again, please send me an email. I will make sure you get the flyer. We offer food support that we help do deliveries if needed. Otherwise, we ask you to come by and pick it up. We also offer other things like medicines, our traditional medicines, if you are in need of those, or just an ear to talk to, someone to listen, someone to engage with. Part of something that we've been able to do through Native Child and Family Services is our On the Land programming, which has continued throughout all these miserable, wintry, rainy days. And we still have families that come out and they meet with some of the other staff from the Malvern Center to provide cultural supports, and they do teachings, and they just do fun play activities or walks and exploring. Just again, it's a connection. We need to connect to Mother Earth, and we need to connect to one another.
Thank you, Michelle. Next question. Is there any space outside for community members to engage in outside activities?
I'm glad Michelle just mentioned the On the Land programming. You know, we are still in the process of developing a small green space outside of the center here where people will be able to engage in programming right here at the site. But the On the Land programming is happening in city parks where our staff are meeting families to do programming outside. And I don't know if you want to say anything more about those sites. Or?
The sites, though we tried to stay in one area, we realized we've got to go to people. So we're going to the parks that are closer to people because it's easier for one or two of my staff to travel, and they're a great team, and they'll travel to meet you at your destination. So then it decreases your anxiety level.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you, Michelle. One question about virtual supports, which is how can people access virtual supports, and what are the types of virtual supports that are being offered now?
This one is again for you, Michelle.
So again, we have a lot of flyers. Please check us out at Malvern Aboriginal early on. We're on Instagram. We have flyers for all our programming from 0 to 6 to our community to family to youth. We've done youth mental health programming. We're providing a community kitchen. Part of our virtual programming goes hand in hand as well. And if you're in need of supplies to participate in that program, we make sure that kits are dropped off to you so that there's no barrier in place.
Thank you, Michelle. And I guess this will be the last question, unless anybody can type one in really quickly. But we've had a couple questions about plans to bring families together safely once the stay-at-home orders are lifted.
Yeah, so we are working very close with the City of Toronto to ensure that all of the programming that occurs everywhere at NativeChild complies with, public health advice. that's given to us through the city, and that which is given to us through the province of Ontario. So as an essential service provider, we are always in conversation with the city and the province to figure out what kind of face-to-face service we can do and how we can maximize it. So we'll be, I think as everybody knows, our situation in terms of this pandemic is changing on a weekly basis. And so that programming will scale up and scale down as allowed, I think. And I don't know if you want to say anything else about that.
No, I think we've covered it all.
Yeah. Okay, miigwech.
Last question, because folks have asked a little bit about our after hours line, and I thought that might be a good one if you could just talk a little bit about our after hours line and the supports available there.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've noticed that this pandemic is disproportionately impacting Indigenous people, and all of us, it's really challenging all of us when it comes to mental health and holistic wellness. And for the first time in over 3 decades, we're seeing waiting lists associated with the mental health services that we're providing. And so to meet that community need, we have launched an after-hours mental health support line. So if you are connected to NativeChild already, or if you are someone in the Indigenous community or an Indigenous household that feels like you need somebody to listen to, like Michelle just said, please consider that a resource available to you for a number of things. One, to be able to reach out after hours to connect somebody to get support right then and there, but also to have somebody to refer to you to other programs and services that you can access for your ongoing wellness as we move through this together.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you, Michelle. That's all the questions for today. If anyone has additional questions, you can always reach out to us either through our Facebook or at some of the email addresses that are posted in the chat here. Thank you, everybody.
Miigwech. Okay. I think we're going to invite Vivian Roy back to close us in a good way.
Bonjour. Chmiigwech Bijaik. Chmiigwech Dana Mabashkak Mekwe Akshquisite. Chmiigwech Dana Mandakina Bish. Emna Queen, Mina Kinegego Amijang, Women Amadziang. I want to thank Chicago McQuay, first of all, for giving us what she has given us and for all that she provided. The water, she's waking up, the plants are coming to life, the animals are coming out, and the spring is here. I just want to say miigwech to all the wonderful people here at NativeChild and Family Services and all my coworkers, and also to you, the community members. Miigwech, thank you for listening to us. Thank you.